welcome to this weekly podcast, VR Untethered. So here we are to talk about the Quest and, well, every Untethered VR, but mostly the Quest. And we have a couple of games that we played this week. Do you want to start, Brad, with the games that you played this week?
Okay. Well, this week I ended up playing a lot of older games that had been neglected. As we had been speaking about earlier, I think the release of games over the last couple of weeks has been a little slim and very niche oriented. It's not that the games themselves look bad, it's just that I think they have a specific market that they're geared to. So, especially when you're watching something like the Kingspray, which, with the hip hop music. And, it definitely gives you the vibe that you're not going to put on your tuxedo and go to paint some still life. You definitely get.
Wear a tuxedo when you paint anyway.
Well, no, but even when you have your show, you know that your friends hanging out are going to be wearing jeans and sneakers and a hat that's backwards, and they're not going to look like Mr. Peanut with the monocle, the top hat, and the cane. It's not going to be Will Mothra. Look at this one; it just reminds me of the Mona Lisa.
It could be.
I know it could be. I've seen some amazing work. I really have.
Oh yeah.
Now, 90% of street graffiti is the guy's name, the number 69, a picture
and whatever gang they're in.
Right. Some pictures of genitalia, or whatever particular obscenity they wish to have at that particular time. But it's the same thing. Okay, and in certain.
That was my dog.
Thank God. I thought I was getting really problems with my hearing.
That was the sound of your eardrum tearing apart.
Yeah.
I guess the rest of the show will have to do with the. I haven't practiced, so you're gonna have to work with me. Anyway, Kingspray looks really good. The whole thing, though, is I'd rather get into Tilt Brush, I think, or something where I can have some variety, as opposed to being dictated to using brick as my background canvas, or Although the idea of creating art with friends is really cool, also.
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking about this some more later when I talk about my stuff, but yeah, there's a little bit some more variety than just one background option.
I saw 10, but okay. Let me go back to the games I played. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
Dead and Buried 2, I keep jumping back into that because it is, well, if there are people on the server, which is not all the time, which is crazy, because there's hundreds of reviews, you would have to imagine some people would still go back in. And it's great. You want to kill 5 minutes, literally kill 5 minutes, you just run away. Lucky shots are going to take you out. It's mayhem for 5 minutes, and it's great. And you could have private rooms, which makes it kind of cool too. So you can kill your friends, and not have others witness it. So I really like that. I've been playing the archery update on Ninja Legends, and the developer keeps changing it and making it a little better. He's given you different arrows, and he's given you different patterns that the enemy is running, and I like it. I really like it. It's I miss multiplayer, because of like Elven Assassin.
Right.
By the way, I did discover that Elven Assassin, the tracking, it needs to be tweaked. It really does, because sometimes it is like so super right on, you're thinking it's amazing. And then there's sometimes that it's like, I saw my arrow go through his chest. Why is he still running? Like I missed him, So yeah, they have to do something with that one.
He temporarily went into an alternate phase of reality where you could see him, but you couldn't interact with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like in Star Trek,
I remember one time I just saw in Dark Coming, because I played this Monday night, I think, with a friend. And he said, well, I'm pretty sure that I killed this guy that is running on your side, but just finish him. So I saw him just arriving, and he had 4 arrows in the head. I mean, this is pretty clear that he should be dead. He got 4 headshots, and he's still running. So I just put 1 arrow in, it wrote headshot, and I shot him like in the chest. And I was like, okay, it's a headshot, cool. It's 2 points, so I'll take it.
Well, maybe it was a case of the character model was crouching, but the character's skin was not. So his head was actually here, but it looked like his head was here.
Yeah.
I don't know. When the axe hits me in the head, the axe takes me out. The arrow should take that guy out.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so they definitely have some tracking issues with Elven that they're going to have to take care of because it's such a great game. I would hate to have to leave it to the side, you know. And meanwhile, Ninja is getting better, and eventually he'll add multiplayer to it, and then you're going to go, okay, you know. So I had fun with that one. Tilt Brush, I get frustrated because there's a learning curve. So, you know, you want to go in there and create something like Josh creates within 20 minutes and say, hey, look at this, you know, and you realize it's going to take me a couple of 20 days to get to the point where I can actually just know what I'm doing here. So, and then I see what Rosie has done, and her work is just like insane. And the other thing, honestly, is I wish they would give us some way to access Medium, at least like Medium Light. You would love it, because Medium is really just a pumped up version. And it gives you, you know, it's like not having Blender in VR. If they gave us Blender and let us finish the final step, it would be great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But having to go flat screen and PC and all that other stuff at the end.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the statement from Gravity Sketch.
No?
They said that they want to be the Adobe of VR 3D.
Right.
So being the Adobe means having a suite, having a product for every need, having a, you know, from start to finish. So they are working toward that, but you know, they need time and money because Adobe started in like, I think it was 89 or something like that. And, you know, they became what we know, late 90s. So it takes time to get there and money.
Well,
But I
you
think
don't-
VR would get there.
You don't want them to be Adobe because Adobe won't sell you their product anymore in Canada. You're
In
out.
Canada, they do.
Well,
It's
they-
in Venezuela that
Yeah,
they don't.
Venezuela, and they also listed Canada as a target market. So I don't know. Keep an eye on
Oh.
it. But yeah, they said Creative Cloud's going to go away, and that's insanity. Because now they're talking about virtual desktop, and it's like, oh, everybody's going to be doing Azure cloud computing. And, okay, that's a little off far. Okay, what games have you played, Josh?
I played absolutely no games this week. No. Obviously, I have been playing Tilt Brush. I've been doing Inktober still, and so every day I've been doing. Well, yesterday I missed because it was just insanely busy for me. Yesterday I had no time for it, so I had to do yesterday's prompt for today, but. Every day I've been doing a prompt and just building a piece of art around it. Yesterday's prompt was ornament, and I didn't get to do it, and I saw Rosie Summers' work on Twitter, and I was like, dang it, she had the same idea I did. Ornament within an ornament. So I finally got mine done today, and one of the ornaments that is in my scene was made in Sculptor VR, and I uploaded it to Poly and then downloaded it within the Tilt Brush so that I could put it in my scene in Tilt Brush. So
Sculpt VR allowed you to export it directly into Poly?
No, it exports as an OBJ or as an FBX, and then you can put those on your computer and then upload it to Poly Yeah.
See, that's the other
Still got to
struggle.
go to that.
The computers,
the
that,
flat
that
screen,
crazy
yeah.
stuff, right?
Yep.
Got to get rid of these computers. You know, and the other thing that we're going to be discussing, I'm sorry, stepping in here, was
Sure.
that, you know, we're doing this mobile computing that we're going to, you know, we're based on Untethered. But very quickly, in probably the beginning of 2020, we're going to be talking about all of these mobile headsets that are tethered because they're going to be tethered to their phone.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be untethered, tethered.
Right.
It's going to be very
It's
interesting.
gonna be half tethered.
Yeah.
Right, like half
No,
baked.
that's gonna be a mobile tethering. That's
Right,
mobile tethered.
exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Is it's still going to be mobile VR, but
Right.
it's going to be mobile VR plus or
Right.
minus actually. But we'll call it plus because that sells better than
Right.
minus.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, it's that's a little processing delay and workflow there. Having to take it off, hook it up to the computer, transfer that over, upload, to put it back on, re-download it in the app that you want. But it works. It only takes a few minutes. It's not that onerous. But still, it's as John Carmack says, friction. And we want to eliminate as much of the friction as we can. But so that'll come in time.
But that's where Medium would bring it.
Yeah. Or it would also help if we had file system access on the Quest. To be able to, within the Quest, to go to the folder where the file is, upload it to Poly from within the Quest. There's still the friction of I need to do that manually, but that's less friction. So, anyways, I also played some more Dash. So this week, they had a new update this week. I think too, some bug fixes and whatnot. I don't recall having any the crashes at this time when I played it, so it's becoming more stable. I still have an odd bug of it. It shows that I've got 3 new cosmetic items. It's got a little badge there, 3. But I go in there and I see nothing new, and I can't clear the badge. But
have you clicked on everything you unlocked?
Yeah.
No.
But I can try that again. But I'm pretty sure that.
And do you have frame drop issues?
Am I?
If you have frame drop issues?
Oh,
frame dropping when you
did
start
I
the
have
race?
some frame drop issues? Not really. Of course, when I'm in the middle of focusing on the race, I'm not necessarily noticing that unless it's major and it interferes with my ability to race.
Yeah, I had a few major frame drop issues, but it's still better, so I can understand it. But yeah, starting a race, when I'm drifting the first curve, sometimes I'm losing a couple of frames, and just enough to make me lose control. So
That's
Yeah.
enough to get you upset. Yeah, I couldn't get in. The other day I tried to play and I didn't even get bots. I was just sitting in the room while counting down. That gets frustrating. It's like
I had something similar happen. For those who haven't played and haven't watched any of the videos on the YouTube channel that have videos on it, when you are in a match and you are choosing the map, you're in kind of a transporting room. So basically, you are just sitting in your car, and to your right and left there are 2 cars, and then across from you there's another car, and then up in the middle there comes the map selection, and you can choose random or choose any one of the 3 available maps. Sometimes that takes it feels like 5 minutes before that shows up, so you're just sitting there going, do I go get a coffee?
Right.
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, you can.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if that's what happens, then you can go get a coffee, and you could probably even get a donut if you want.
Maybe.
Warm it up.
Yeah, and then it shows up, and it's got the 10 seconds or whatever to count down to the map. But that's a minor issue, but still, it's a little bit of an issue that it's not always there right away, and it should be there right away.
Right.
And enough about that. I also played some more Rec Room. I checked out a few more of the Fall Festival rooms. Again, they have some good ones. I think I mentioned, but I'm not sure, in one of our past episodes that one of the rooms was had Bendy in the ink machine, the demo room, and it's a really short puzzle thing where you to go through, and you have to just find the items in order to turn on the ink machine, and then there is Bendy, and you see words on the screen saying "run," so you have to run while the place is filling up with ink, and then as you're heading toward the exit, the floor gives out from under you, and you drop down to another level with the door, but it's not completed, so you're like, okay, I can't open that door. Yeah, but still, that's really good. And there was another bending and the ink machine room, in the Fall Festival room, which is kind of a tutorial, it said. And he has said that he's working on making it into a full-fledged Rec Room game after the Fall Festival contest is over.
Right.
And it looks really well done. I mean, it's a Rec Room game, so it's Rec Room graphics, but it looks pretty well done. And of course, I played Kingspray. I just tried that out today. Just a little bit. I only had time for like 20 minutes or something like that. I recorded a video of it, but I haven't had a chance to upload it yet. And it's pretty fun. There are some things that are not realistic, like your spray paint never clogs, it never runs out. You can just hold it there forever and just so go as long as you want, and you're not going to run out. And you have much paint of all the colors so that you want, where in a real world environment you have whatever you brought with you, and if you didn't bring a color that you needed, oh well. Yeah. But that kind of leads me to a point. You were mentioning that you'd rather have tilt brush. Oh, and I just realized I'm using my laptop mic today instead of my better mic, so my mic quality might be a little bit different. Sorry about that. I just realized that. But you'd rather go into the tilt brush because you can do so much more with it, which is true. You can. However, creativity is enhanced by constraints.
Yes.
To a point, obviously. Too many constraints and you can't do anything. But artificial limits, artificial. Don't use the word "the" when you write or whatever. Can lead to coming up with new ways of doing things or new ways of expressing yourself, and and I like to work within constraints, which is why I'm enjoying the Inktober challenge so much, because I have to do something that fits within the constraint of the prompt. I'm not just doing whatever I want, because if I'm doing whatever I want, then I might go, I'm not feeling inspired today. I don't know what I want to paint. And then I don't get anything done. But if I know, okay, well, I've got to paint something that has to do with egg. Okay, do I want to paint an egg? Do I want to make an egg hatching into a chicken? Do I want to do a juggling eggs? And it gives me stuff to work with to spark my creativity. The Kingspray, because it is limited to only spray paint on brick or otherwise rough surfaces, industrial type surfaces. There is constraint there, and there is no undo button, just like in real life. So, but there is a clean the surface button that gets rid of everything.
Right.
And the piece of art that I showed you guys earlier to this thing is his Zentangle inspired artwork. And in Zentangle, you are drawing with ink, so you can't undo what you did. You have to learn how to live with the mistakes and incorporate it. Because if you were to look at this piece of art up close and really examine it, you would find lines that are shorter than the others, or not as straight, or areas where I obviously started and stopped and then started again, or there are imperfections in it, and so part of the Zentangle philosophy is the wabi-sabi idea of going with whatever happens, using it, basically.
Bob Ross.
Yep.
It's a happy accident. It's a happy accident.
Only toddlers have happy accidents.
Oh, no. Not so happy. Accidents, I'll agree with, but some of them are very unhappy.
Yeah. But anyways, part of the reason that I got to Kingspray also is my wife has been wanting to get into airbrush, which I know using a spray can and using an airbrush are not quite the same, but it's the same idea. So this might help her get the confidence to be able to actually unbox her airbrush equipment and start using it, or be able to work out ideas of what she wants to do.
See, that's going to be interesting. Now, how do you translate working on that size surface in a constrained area? Like you'd be working on a mural the size of your wall or something smaller.
Right.
But in the game Kingspray, it's going to be the side of a building.
Right.
So, it's going to definitely be a different scale.
Well, yeah. Well, it's the same kind of idea, just one's this and the other is that. So we'll see. Maybe it'll help her. Maybe it won't. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. But free the dog.
Yeah, he's running with his toys.
And last, I've been playing wands a little bit this week also. They're still in the middle of the latest season, and unlike Fortnite, there was no blackout in between the seasons. There was no black hole.
No black hole. That was interesting.
Nobody going over it. But no, wands is it's out on PlayStation VR now as well. At least in Europe and over here in the US, I believe it is also. But evidently, the PSVR community has been complaining that it's teleport only and not a free locomotion game. And I'm like, I get where they are coming from. Everybody, we all like free locomotion better, but that doesn't mean that the other game is bad. It's just because it's a teleport. I mean,
it works. It works in Wands. I have to be honest with you. As much as I don't love teleport, I can't imagine walking across that bridge every time. Or it's a game of strategy, and if you had to play a game of chess as opposed to this other, it's just so different. I can't imagine.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It's like they want an SDA style battle where it's just everybody running around at each other. But what they've got is chess. Right. This piece makes this move. You have to work with that move. It's a constraint. The strategy comes from working within that constraint.
And you have an eighth of a second to make up your mind as to what you want to do before you get whacked. So, and
sometimes not even that long.
Exactly. It depends on what they've set for you. The traps are pretty amazing. Right. Truly, my biggest problem now is becoming a master of any of these games and having enough time to spend to really enjoy them. And
you gotta get
great.
10,000 hours in before you're a master.
I think I'm close to 10,000 hours, but that's total. They keep playing more games, and it's going to end up being like 1,000,000 hours. So.
Yes. All right, so that's the last of mine. How about you, Michael?
I've played many small part of games. I've played the Rec Room, but I only played a single paintball match, so I'm not sure if it counts because it's like 10 minutes. I did about 20 minutes of Tilt Brush. Because it's been a big week for me, so I haven't played what I wanted, but what I could. Right. So this is different, and it's a huge difference. And but Tilt Brush, it's amazing. I'm late to the party, so I can't be doing the Inktober stuff from the start. I could jump in right now.
Yeah.
But but
it's a learning curve. It's a learning.
Yeah.
Well, I think to learn is to jump in and do it.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been getting better at Tilt Brush since I started it.
Oh yeah. I mean, your stuff has been really, not being sort of favoritism or anything. Your stuff has really grown in what you've done. When you first started, it was sort of like you were in second grade, and now you've graduated.
Now I'm in third.
Your art appreciation class in college and moving on to fine arts. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And it inspires.
Really the envelope of the Quest memory buffer. That last one did too. I was getting memory warnings on it.
Yeah.
I can imagine. It's not really relevant exactly to the Quest, but again, it is. I got a Pixel 3 XL. I picked it up because it was discontinued. It's also the last Google to run Daydream. And I still have a Daydream headset, so but the 3As, the 3A, the 3XL, the 4, none of them. It's gone. Like Daydream is gone.
So it's technically my phone can do Daydream also. I just don't have a Daydream headset.
Right. So
got a Samsung. So.
Oh yeah, well Samsung doesn't do anything right according to all the write-ups. I can't read anybody saying I love my Samsung unless there's somebody who works for Samsung.
So I love my Samsung, and I don't work for Samsung.
They're gonna record and make a commercial.
Maybe. I just hope they get royalty payments for it.
Oh no, you can keep hoping on that one. That's like Oculus release. That's like Chad releasing coming. sorry to break the flow, but have you noticed that all the games that say coming soon come after the games that you never heard they're releasing until the day before? It's like Kingspray. Here's everybody's waiting for Pistol Whip and for Espire and for Echo Arena, and they're all saying coming soon, and then you get Kingspray, and everybody goes, what?
Yeah, and Show of the Fight was announced, like maybe it was announced to be ported to the Quest like during the summer,
Right.
and then they haven't said a single word until it was ready, and they just dropped the bomb like, "Hey, it is ready now. You're getting it next week. It's $10. Here is it. Here it is." So this
Right.
is, I like that because I don't like when they
That one
say,
I might get
"Well,
next
this is coming next month," and we're next month, and it's not there. Oh yeah, it's coming next week. Next week, it's still not there. Oh yeah,
Right,
next
exactly.
month because we have an issue now. It's next month, and
Yeah.
it's
So-
just get pushed and pushed and pushed.
I mean, I want the developers to take their time and get the game right, but
Yeah.
at the same time, if you've got a release date, like how many mulligans should you get?
Right. Well, that's
Um,
that's the crazy part. And oh right, we wanted to talk about Knockout League, which is something that I haven't played on the Quest yet. I can say that I did play it on my Vive, and also I played it on the Rift, I think, but I played it on PC VR, and I found that it had a severe tracking problem because it estimated my height perfectly at 6 feet, which is exactly what I am, and it estimated my arm length at approximately 6 feet as well. So whenever the instructor wanted me to be hitting these targets, and he would be like, in your face, no, you got to hit this one, and it's just like, dude, I can't even kick that one, even if I was laying down. I don't understand. So I'm hoping that they got the mechanics right in the port to the Quest. So if you find that it's like Tai Chi, which we had discussed earlier, where they also estimated your arm length to be approximately gorilla size compared to human size.
there is a way to calibrate that, and instead of holding your arms all the way out, if you hold them in a little bit, it should make it a little bit shorter. But yeah.
So yeah, some of these guys have to really understand, human anatomy. I understand that they're rushing it out there, but just understand not everybody has their arm length and their leg length the same. My inseam and my arm length are not quite the same. So I just think some developers might want to be aware of that. And also, all the games I'm playing that have been ported over to the Quest from the Go look great. Really look great, play great. I've been enjoying those, trying them out one at a time. Like we're saying, you played how many parts of little games? I think we could run the whole podcast just naming the games we jumped into for 5-10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. The one game that I played the most, well, there's Dead Horizon that I tried the smooth locomotion,
Right.
and this is really a game changer for this game. It makes it a lot better. It was already good, but it's way better now. Teleporting is not my thing, so that may be why I see the use jump. Like it's a whole new game, and Doug is running, and I
Now,
tried.
imagine playing Dreadhog and hearing that sound.
Oh, I don't want that.
That's when you take your nitro pill under the tongue and you go
Yeah.
here.
And I also played Pavlov, the latest update, which is build 9. And I mean, Pavlov is Pavlov. It's crazy. Just reloading the gun feels like, I mean, buying the Quest just to reload a gun in VR makes it worth it. Like, it's not just pressing square, it's actually reloading your gun. So it's crazy when you've been, I never really liked a game where you just like press square and you're reloading Press triangle, you're throwing a grenade. Right now I need to buy that grenade. I need to have it attached to my chest. I need to pull it and pull the pin and throw it. It's crazy.
Right.
So
And you need to cook it. But
Oh, yeah.
not long. If you overcook, it goes off in your face.
But you
Oh,
don't-
well, it's a frag grenade, so it's when it's touched the ground, so you can cook it for hours.
Okay.
But isn't Pavlov supposed to be coming to the? I mean, is that another Chad coming soon? But I keep reading that it's coming soon to.
It's December 19th. It's been confirmed that it will be a free game coming out December 19th, and for everyone that is listening, TTT, which is Troubled and Terrorist Town, will be on the quest, and a zombie mode too, and a new mode that is yourself against 4 AI that are looking for you and trying to kill you. So you have to, kill them before they do.
Well, it's better
Locked
than
in the
them
helm?
looking for. It's better than them looking for you and giving you a sandwich. It's like.
Yeah.
So I guess having them kill you.
It's a prominent thing as cake.
Yeah.
We don't have to say the cake is a lie.
Right. Just stop running. Stop running. It's a cake. It's good.
Yeah.
It would be a
Our
funny
guns
deal.
are loaded with cake.
Yeah, they should just make a mode where you're allergic to peanut and they're trying to give you peanuts. So you have to escape from them.
Hold him down. Hold him
Yeah.
down. It's planted.
Rock. And today I've been playing Raccoon Lagoon, which is a game that I bought when it launched. Played about 2 hours and never played again. But I played it with my son today, and actually we really enjoyed it because he added it on his quest and he never even opened it. And we were about to play Rec Room, and he said, "Hey, there's that game that we haven't played yet." So I was like, "Oh yeah, that's true." And we jumped in, and it's really a good game for a father and a son. I mean, we've been mining, we've been petting pigs and stuff like that, and just planting plants and doing stuff. It's just again.
What could possibly be more of a bond than petting pigs? I mean, seriously,
Petting pets is really fun in VR. I mean, I was petting a pet, and he was petting a pet too, and he was showing me his cow and stuff like that. Wow, have you seen this one? And I called her that name, and he was just showing me the animals. And when you hit an animal, or you take it and show it, they just drop poop on the floor, and you just can't get rid of it. So that's a way of you have to behave nice with your animal, or they will poop on the ground and it will stay there forever. So it would ruin your land.
You're good.
So-
to manure?
that
Well, you
sounds
can-
absolutely.
You can try to throw it away; it will just reappear next to you. So my son just added poop on the ground, and I was like, "What's that poop?" And he said, "Oh, I accidentally hit my cow, and it just dropped the poop. So now I'm stuck with a poop on the ground."
So when are you going to get that smell part to fit on the quest
Yeah.
to really experience the joy of
Yo.
feeding your animal?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think that's a smell I will gladly forego. I don't need to smell that. I smell enough of that thanks to my dog.
Yeah. So that's the game I played. I think we kind of made the new released section of the show too.
So pretty much, yeah. We had Knockout League and Kingspray. I didn't really touch on it when I was talking about Kingspray, so I just want to talk about it a little bit more. There is a multiplayer mode in there, a co-op mode. I didn't get a chance to try it out yet because I only had a limited amount of time to be trying it. But there is a co-op mode, and there's a gallery where you can go in and look in VR at what other players have done, and it looks like, but I didn't try. It looks like you can add to their work because you always have a spray can in your hand. So
Can they do
I'm wondering,
drive-bys and
can I
shoot you
paint
down?
over what they did and add to? I don't know. I haven't tried, but
Right. That sounds dangerous. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah.
apparently, if your friend started a multiplayer session, you can join it even if he's offline and draw.
Oh, wow.
Keep
Right.
working on it. This is what I heard on Reddit. I
That's
haven't
cool.
confirmed it because I don't have the
A
software, but
persistent session, huh?
That's,
Nice.
yeah,
I
some
mean,
people
the
can only
Sculpted VR
sneak
has
out of the
multiple
house at
session too,
2.
but it's not a persistent session. Once everybody leaves, it's gone. You know,
yeah,
but m- multiplayer, the creative stuff is really fun. You know, even if all you do is you're dropping in on strangers.
Right.
You know,
I could see that. I
so
could see hanging out with friends and doing it too.
yeah.
And I'm also looking forward to Thrill of the Fight. I know we didn't talk about that, but
Well, so that's in the upcoming titles.
okay, you can put it onto but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Thrill of the Fight looks great. Looks like it's priced right. I just, I don't want it to have the same graphics as Drunken Bar Fight, which looks to be sort of, people have fun with it. Nobody's really complaining about it, but the graphics look sort of, like, okay.
yeah. Well, it depends because I've been playing this game too much. I think because
Well, it beats going out to a bar and actually getting into one.
Well, I don't know,
You
Mikey.
play
Well,
drunken bar fight, then actually go out and have a drunken bar fight.
It's
Well,
safe, probably.
the game is well, it's just not right. I mean, it,
No.
you're doing stuff and then you realize you're doing that and you're like, oh no, I should stop. But it's fun. And you just keep showing people, in the air and, just taking somewhere by the legs and try to make his head hit the fan and things like that, and it's just like, oh, why am I doing that?
I know. That's why I've always been put off by things like Grand Theft Auto. So probably the most famous example of this kind of game where you are rewarded for doing what in real life is a crime. Yeah. Or
Yeah,
or
but
murder.
at the same
You
time,
know?
it's just, I just
I
put my
don't want
headset.
to play a game like that. You know?
Yeah,
No matter
but I mean,
how well it's made, I don't want to play a game like that.
yeah, but
Well,
it is fun, you just get in and you can do things that you can't do in real life, and this is what game is about, doing
Right.
things that you can't do in life. So I just, go in the bar, and I see someone, sitting at the bar drinking, and I take a guitar and just break it on his back, and it started fighting in the bar, So it's just, you get in, you just turn your brain off, you do whatever you want, and then you go out and, you just, it really breaks your day.
What I would probably do in the game, then, if you can do whatever you want, is I'd start a bar fight. You get everybody throwing things at each other and beating each other up. And then I'd go over to the jukebox, select a song, get up on the table, and start doing the Pee Wee Herman the tequila dance.
there you go. And you can't do that? That's so great.
Yeah.
I'm really waiting for them to give us volumetric avatars because they really seem to be on the verge of actually doing that with your phone. And with the launch of Horizon, which looks suspiciously like the artwork from Half and Half. I mean,
I use half and half in my coffee.
and that's probably a good thing to do, but dunking your Quest in your coffee is probably not a good thing to do. But I still haven't played Half and Half, but when I look at the graphics, whenever it just looks exactly like the Horizon, which I guess is all about interplay, and that's what Half and Half is about, sharing a space. So I think they want you to pay to be a beta tester and play Half and Half with each other, and they can then use those interactions to help make Horizon a better place.
Well, Horizon is not made by the same people.
Not made by
though.
normal.
Which is really weird because have you looked at the graphics?
Well, I've seen Horizon at OC6, and it's simplistic graphics, but it's really, it's different.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Looks
Have
like
you
a
seen them?
different style.
Really? Look at Half and Half with the hide and seek, and then look at the scene from Horizon that they show you with the buildings. And there's a definite similarity there, you know.
Well,
So,
there's a similarity between a lot of games graphically because uh, as things progress and evolve and streamline, whatever other words you want to use, certain art styles are going to gravitate and float to the top and all that and become more and more common.
right.
And at some point, there's going to be a whole bunch of games that look the same, but play a little bit differently, you know.
Oh, speaking of which, how is Wrath of Asgard doing? Like, have you been able to play that anymore?
That was a
Um,
very smooth, not segue.
I mean, the loading screen is really cool, and that's about it. I haven't had time to play it.
That was worth downloading for a month and a half to be able to play the load
Yeah.
Hey,
screen.
look at this loading screen. It's
Oh, yeah.
totally worth the 20-hour download.
Yeah,
And,
it
and the
really is.
disorientation as I'm trying to figure out where the 3D is watching the single.
Oh yeah, because I just had this loading screen and I had to grab something, and I just went to grab it. I clearly passed through it because I turned up the 3D effect just to get a better. Because I'm using my Quest streaming virtual desktop and this shadow computer, just so everyone know what I'm talking about. And I was using that mono rendering mode that render a mono screen that is not 3D.
Right.
So I was like, I don't mind if it's not in 3D, but I have a good quality picture and I'm actually in VR. So I just click on that mono streaming and I went in and I realized that you need 3D actually, because
You think?
I just had to pick.
Well.
There's two rocks and you have to choose it basically if you're female or male. So I just went to pick that rock and my hand went right through it, and it just felt like if I was drunk, because
Well,
I was trying to gauge my distance and I was like, this is
for
totally
those
not
following
it.
along at home who want to emulate this effect, play a head quest game like this.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Or do some more drunken brawl fight and then go back in. Yeah, I really want to play it, but I have to check and see how much space I have to really play any of this stuff. Because if they're going to start making games that big, then they're going to have to start making.
It won't be a trend, I'm pretty sure, because there's an update right now and they're asking me for 120 gigabyte for that update. This is crazy. I mean, you don't want to free that. If you're they say that you better install it on an SSD because to cut the loading times.
Right.
But I mean, try to fit that on an SSD 2 times because you need to double the install, just to update it. This is crazy.
You need a terabyte SSD, which is virtually unheard of. Even half a terabyte is uncommon. Most people stop somewhere around 256 or even 128. So.
Right.
Yeah, and you install your OS on, so that's like 50 gigabyte.
Yep.
Chewing the garbage.
I just feel a little bit left out because I have the space on my desktop and on my laptop. I've got plenty of space. I just don't have a graphics card that can handle it. So.
Well, that's just it. I'm lucky. I have the graphics card and I do have space, but the problem is, right, like you're saying, it has to run on the SSD. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive in there and like 512 gig SSD, but at the size of Wrath of Asgard, it'll be like 2 games. And then, move them off your, and then if there's an update, like you're saying, what? Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Well, hopefully the updates are not you have to re-download the entire game, but are more of the I forget the actual term for it, but the partial whether you get like a 30 megabyte file and it just update that part of the game that the update addresses.
But unfortunately, it doesn't look like this is what it is, because I just got a notification today on my phone saying you need to free up 120 gigabyte for that update. And I was like, no, I won't do that. I will play with the bugs and I will delete it and never play it again.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, speaking of
$40 well spent.
yeah.
Oh wait, you got a code.
Battleweight is $15 on Steam right now.
Yeah.
That's a
50% cut. Yeah.
50%. So, and that's the thing that
If I had a
Oculus has to.
graphic card, I would go out and buy that, because that's something I've been wanting to try. But that reminds me that we can touch on this more after we get back to what you're saying, Brad. I saw there was a side quest game that got tweeted about, High Seas. The tweet says, High Seas lets you man your own ship from the captain's cabin, letting you loose to the savage seas with only your compass, rudder, and courage as you try to reach land again alive. Good luck, mateys, and safe sailing. Or perhaps not.
Ooh.
So,
Okay, sounds like something that's worth loading up and seeing. But Battlewake, I know everybody's disappointed that it never hit the Quest. And I'm getting really tired of these developers who keep saying, oh yeah, we're developing for the Quest. And then halfway through they went, nah, we were.
Well, they are. They still are. I spoke with a dev, I think it was Tuesday.
Right.
Because I was like, well, you said that the game would be out for the Quest, this year, but you still don't have a date. So what's happening? And they said, oh, it will be out. And I was like, will it be this year? And they said, oh, it will be out. I was like, okay, so maybe 2020 now. Or maybe, we don't know. So still no date, no info, no progress, no... But we will get the game one day. And it's cross-buy from what they said. So if you want to try it on the Rift, and, maybe if it goes on sale during, Christmas or something, you can buy it on the Rift, try it, and you will get it on the Quest.
or in my case, buy it just to have it for when the Quest comes out.
Yeah.
Might as well. I mean, if it ever goes on, if you could pick it up on sale and pray for the cross-buy.
Right.
As opposed to...
Apparently it is. That's what they said, though.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we've heard that before.
So didn't you do that with the game, Michael? Was it... I forget what it was, but there was a game that was on sale before the Quest came out, and it was a cross-buy title. I forget what it was now, though.
I did that with Orbis, Space Bio Trainer, and one more that I don't remember. The fast travel game. What is their name? With the arrow and the robots.
The Apex?
Apex, yeah. And it's my favorite game on Quest. My favorite solo game on Quest. Apex.
Really?
It's really good. Oh yeah.
That was like your first game on...
It was the first game I played on the Quest, and it's the first game I finished on the Quest, and it's still my favorite solo game.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to get that at some point too.
Yeah, me too. When they go on sale for 50% off towards the end of the year, or run their Christmas sale or something, please. They just have to basically match Steam. That's pretty much the whole thing that they have to do is when Steam has Moss for $15, you're going to have to reduce it from 30. As much as you hate it, you're going to have to do it. And,
Yeah. I mean, I guess that they want to try to ride this as long as they can. I completely understand that from a business perspective, but at the same time, when the Oculus Rift store has sales, when the Oculus Go store has sales, when the Oculus Quest store does not have sales, people at some point are going to get too fed up about that, and they're just going to go, no, the games are too expensive. I can't spend $1,000 a month on games.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Quest is so young, and I mean the only the only moment that I see that they could do a sale is Halloween right now. Well, the closest, but
Right.
Halloween means horror game, and the horror games are like 1 month old, or
Right.
they would be like 2 days old when
Right.
Halloween would come by. So, I
Right.
mean, they can't do that. So the next logical sale is probably Christmas.
Right.
So
And
I'm pretty sure that
yeah.
Christmas will have sales because people would get headset, and you want them to get games to stay in the headset. So
Well, remember there's Black Friday
Yeah.
yeah,
and Cyber Monday, so that's going to be one hell of a weekend for everybody. And I would think Quest would want to keep you, just basically, like give people a game.
Right.
Give $15 game.
However, if I remember right, on previous Black Fridays, the Oculus hardware has not gone on sale. The most they've ever done is they've done the referral bonus where you refer and they get a 10% discount.
Right.
And that basically covers taxes.
You're never going to get more than 10%.
Right.
That's pretty much the best
Right.
I've ever seen it go on sale for.
Right. So they're not going to have a hardware sale, but hopefully they'll have software sales.
yeah,
Well, software sales, gift certificates, ways of giving
Right.
people, it's like
Yeah.
they can really
That
maximize
is something
sales.
people have been asking for a long time. Is
Of course.
look, I have this game. I want to buy my friend a copy of the game. I can't do that. All that I can do is say, "Hey, here's the money for the game."
It's crazy. It really is. That I can't see why they're not maximizing, especially with the Social Hub and Horizon and
Right.
everything else that they're doing. You would think that would. Well, I know they just got really screwed over with their cryptocurrency, which I think had Zuckerberg's face on the coin, actually. But
Well,
all of a sudden everybody dropped them. Like all the banks and all of the major companies that were standing behind the crypto went no. So I don't know what happened with it.
it's probably because Zuckerberg had his face on it.
Yeah, he doesn't have many friends left anymore. I know he's sort of going into.
He's only got followers.
He needs to be in the witness protection program. I think at this point they're looking to beat him up some more, and I think it was pretty funny how he said that nobody should have the kind of money that he has. I didn't notice him giving it up, but he said nobody should have the kind of money that he has, and in the meantime he's been meeting with some political people that are very prejudicial towards the money staying with the corporate end of things. So it's interesting that he got involved in that. You would think that after the last election, the last thing Facebook would want would be to get involved in politics in any way, shape, or form.
Not to bring up another can of worms, but you would think they would have learned the lesson from what they did with Palmer Luckey as well.
Oh, right. I mean, things come back to haunt you, and Palmer definitely seems to be haunting Facebook at this point too. So I don't know, Andrew L. and the drones and.
Yep. But that is stuff for a completely different podcast.
I think I smell another podcast coming up. So, what did we run over today by about an hour and a half, or?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Well, it's
hour 28 minutes and 39, 40, 41, 42.
Wait! Stop
43,
counting.
44.
yeah. So I think we covered pretty much
Yep.
every upcoming title release.
We didn't get to the
the
news
news.
about the BBC VR hub shutting down.
Yeah.
The Google Daydream going officially down.
Dead.
That's a shame because there has been some good stuff that has come out of the BBC, the VR team. But as other people have said, this does not mean VR is dead. VR is still very much alive. It just means that team is going in a different direction.
Yeah, they're still
No.
doing games. They're doing the Doctor Who game and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're not dead. They're just like relocating the staff, I guess.
Yeah.
They're more becoming location-based, I think. A lot of them are want to be dual. They want to be location-based, though, because I think that's the new entertainment theme for using up mall space and,
Right.
Not having people invest $1,500 until they actually try something for 25 or 30 and go, hey, this is cool. I want
Right.
to do
Yeah.
that.
And the other new thing that we had in there is the UAST 2019. They're doing an online experience using Mozilla Hubs, which is WebVR, alt space rec room, that sort of thing. Well, it's not really a rec room, but it's more an alt space or roomy or engage. It's a social platform where you can create a room, have people in it, walk around. You've got little robot avatars and whatnot, and there'll be live streaming video of the UIST, the technical papers and keynote, or the technical paper sections and keynotes, and they're hosting social VR spaces for remote co-watching of the streams. And they're going to be running a Discord server for a chat about them as well. And so I think that's cool that it's being integrated more and more with education and things of this nature.
Right.
And WebVR is not quite as, it's not quite on the same footing as a dedicated hardware VR like to the Quest, but it's getting better and better also, and it's something that I think a lot of the other the podcasts out there, and I know we haven't really mentioned it either. They tend to overlook, but it's doing a lot there too. I mean, there are games you can load up in WebVR that are Beat Saber-ish games. There's a Box VR like WebVR game. There's all sorts of things out there in the WebVR world also that can be to be accessed using your VR even, or the Go.
Right. I was going to say that's the whole thing, is that when people are able to use inexpensive headsets to access, we're talking about almost the same thing we were talking about at the beginning, which was being able to tether your headset to your phone.
Right.
And let your phone be the guts, and the headset is basically just the screen.
Well, yeah.
The center. So, yeah, that would certainly be a great way of going with the low end, while in the high end they're going to still go with the FOV and the foveated rendering and the taking us up to disclosure, where we have the angel, and when we're walking through dread halls, we're really walking through dread halls. It's that type of thing. Although I really do want.
When you die in that VR, do you die in reality?
It depends.
Or do you only
on
want
the
to die?
programmer. And which episode of Black Mirror are you watching? That will determine what's going to happen to you.
I was thinking more of Sword Art Online or Dot Hack or
Okay, we can do that too. So, anybody have anything to add before we sign off? And
I think we covered pretty much everything that I had to cover.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think
So
so too.
We're good.
And
Yeah,
I
so-
think there's for both people that are left watching the show by now. Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And leave feedback. We're always welcoming feedback and want to know what you think about our podcast and
Sure.
what we could do to improve it.
Yep. And remember to like and subscribe too.
Oh, yeah, like and subscribe, push that bell button.
Push that.
Tell
bell.
all your friends. There's
Yeah.
cake in it for you if you tell all your friends. And
Yeah.
all subscribe. We'll send you all free cake straight from the Aperture Labs.
Okay, now we're down to one person left. So thank you very much. We are shaking your hand, and
Yeah.
I think now's a good time to say goodnight, guys. And,
Yeah.
or good
So see you
morning.
next week. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Have fun.